Argentina's been doing some hilarious stuff for the better part of 70 years, but don't worry about it, okay? About this time last year, okay, Argentina ended up lifting the World Cup, and places like the Washington Post were spurging out because, why doesn't Argentina have more black players in the World Cup? And then they won their way into everybody's heart when they tweeted back, because we're a country, not a Disney movie, absolutely 1000% based, and the only thing that they could have done to dethrone that singular instance of them being global red-pilled superstars is to go ahead and elect somebody with some funny-ass hair, some goofy-ass mannerisms, and some based domestic policies. What he likes to do abroad is a little bit, left to be desired, but there's also a pretty decent reason as to why he got as far as he could, just with a little bit of his foreign policy background. But we got Javier Milei. I'm not even too terribly sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. To be completely honest, I haven't listened to any of his interviews. I've looked at his policies on paper, and for the most part, I really like them because it's very, 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 very libertarian. He's a little bit more bombastic than Trump, which he often gets compared to, which I kind of find to be a little bit difficult to say. And if you're not aware of who this guy is, which you will be very, very shortly, to say that somebody is even more of a character than Trump, you might think that I'm being hyperbolic, but I promise you, I'm not. So Javier Milei wins Argentinian presidential election. Yeah, no, this is 100% confirmed because his opposition, called over and conceded the election. So he is going to be the president of Argentina. And a lot of people are heralding this as a sign of good things to come. Pro-Trump, libertarian with no prior governmental experience and a resume that includes work as a tantric sex coach, has been elected president of Argentina. Javier Milei beat Argentina's economy minister, Sergio Massa, fucking commie, by the way, in Sunday's polarized presidential runoff. Massa conceded before the Electoral Authority released results. Yeah, it's over. I don't know. Massa congratulated his opponent, a right-wing economist who promised to shake up for the nation, and has welcomed frequent comparison of him to Trump. The Argentinian Electoral Authority later released partial results with 86.6% of the votes tallied. Milei had a 55.95% and Massa's 55.04%. It's about a wrap. It's about a wrap at that point in time. 86%, like, come on, man. And I've seen a couple of electoral maps too. It's like, this guy, it's kind of weird how socialism always tends to play out, okay? Where you've got the cities trending a little bit more so for this Massa character, which is kind of strange in and of itself. But the rural locations, the more dispersed populations, going for the populist figure. Very strange, very strange. The country will swing to the right amid discontent over soaring inflation and rising poverty. Wow, where have we heard this before? This will empower a freshman lawmaker who describes himself as an anarcho-capitalist and got his start in TV talking head blasting what he called the political caste. Very, very strange. You've probably seen him before in action, mostly with the hair and the mutton chops, just kind of waving back and forth as he calls out the libtards, unironically. Like, I'm not being some terminally online guy by just saying, oh my god, he just owns the libtards. No, he says it himself. Milei, who is also a prominent economist and radio chat show host, has spoken openly about his preference for threesomes. Well, he's a guy, of course he does, even though they're highly overrated. Why he believes poor people should be free to sell their body parts, and how he enjoys communicating via telepathy with his dead dog for political advice. Alright, so he's kind of a fucking nutter, but he couldn't be any worse than the literal commies that were in the president's office prior to him. He pulled off the shock victory. Was it really? Because the way that this all worked up, a couple of months ago, I think that there was, a much more broad general election than the top two. Like, Milei didn't end up finishing in the top spot, by the way. He finished second behind this Massa character. And then when all things are said and done, like, fuck it. What do we have to lose, guys? Yeah, head of the runoff election, in large part due to his support from young voters who are so disenchanted with the conventional politicians. It's so funny that the Daily Mail just doesn't want to say they were socialists. They were fucking socialists. For decades, they've ruined the country of Argentina. Argentina. And then they seen this fucking nutcase come up and it's like, ah, fuck it, why not? Yeah, and to the man whose recent biography was titled El Loco, or The Madman. Wow. Thanks for translating that. Political unknown until about a few years ago. Milei, 52. He's only 52. No, to be honest, he looks a hell of a lot older than that. That's all those threesomes that he has dealing with all those bitches. Oh my god, it's terrible. It's so fucking annoying. Anyways, was elected to Argentina's parliament in 2021 as a member of the La Libertad Avanza. Huh, weird. Doesn't that sound a little bit familiar? It's almost like that was presaged, wasn't it? If I had to choose between the state and the mafia, I would choose the mafia, he once said. Fucking based, okay? Because the mafia has codes. The mafia adapts. The mafia doesn't lie. And above all, the mafia competes. They sound less like Trump and more like Tate, okay? So, it's still fine. His chainsaw plan. Like, this goofy dick was also, driving around in a convertible, which, for a presidential candidate or for a president at this point in time, just take some advice of your contemporaries and just park the hard top for a second, opt for something with a little bit better security if you don't mind. But he was also waving around a chainsaw, and legitimately you can find those videos that are out there. He's wild. To slash the bloated state includes getting rid of Argentinians' public health and education systems, along with shuttering 10 out of the 18 government departments. And he goes out there and he rips off the ones that he thinks are stupid, like the diversity and inclusion department and many other such departments. So don't think that he's going in there and getting rid of the Department of Energy or anything like that, okay? Like, he's getting rid of government bloat, and you do love to see it. Milei is also so anti-progressive. How anti-progressive is he? He repeatedly taken aim, rather bizarrely, at Pope Francis. What's bizarre about that? That dude's a fucking weirdo, and he's even drawn the ire of staunch Catholics as well for just not being Catholic enough, okay? His compatriot calling him a fucking communist, a communist turd, and a representative of the evil one on earth. Yeah, exactly, because he's the dude who's like, yeah, if gays get married inside the church, that's probably not all bad. And it's like, have you fucking read the Bible, you idiot? Man shall not lay with another man, unless, of course, you're Pope, then you can just go ahead and fucking pick whatever verse works for you. Who cares, right? In brutal social media posts, simply because his perceived support for social justice and policies to help the poor. Yeah, it's all about, policies to help the poor, right? And that's not governmental control, because when was the last time that you seen the government come in and actually make something better? Of course not. But anyways, I'll link you out to this clip. This one made the rounds, earlier this year. I think it was over the summer when he was out there, on the rounds, really making his name pop off. Just one little clip. It's like a minute-long clip that you can watch at your own leisure. But why do you call leftists shit? Because they are shit, reporter. If you think differently, they will kill you. Argentinians, man, they're known for their passion. And now with their leaders, they definitely are going to be getting that. Outsider Javier Milei wins Argentinians' presidential election. Libertarian outsider Javier Milei pulled off a massive upset Sunday with a resounding win in Argentinians' presidential election, a stinging rebuke of the traditional parties that have overseen decades of economic decline. What are they? Fucking say it, you cocksucking rags for fucking dick-sucking socialism. Call it what it is. The political newcomer surged from obscurity to oust the long-dominant Personist coalition and its candidate Sergio Massa, who, as economy minister, if everything's falling to shit and you're going up there just being so braggadocious, so bold as to put your economy minister out front as your candidate, you deserve the shit kicking that you were getting. This, literally, I know I haven't made the direct comparisons, but I'm sure you guys also are in your head to how analogous this situation is to both 2016 and 2020 in the United States. And if you can't see that, and I just pointed it out for you, make sure that the chin strap on the helmet that you have to wear is firmly affixed, and that the little, propeller on the top of your helmet continues to spin, so everybody knows to stay away from you, you blithering moron. Massa conceded defeat as provisional results showed that Milei had won 56% of the vote, and he was not going to come back from that one. His main platform has been to ditch the ailing peso for the US dollar. It still is the world reserve currency, so that makes sense. And dynamite the central bank oh my God, he wants to get rid of the Fed. Oh, stop talking dirty to me. To do away with the cancer of inflation. Yeah. He's also against abortion, pro-gun, vowed to cut ties with Argentinians, key trading partners, China and Brazil. Which I truly hope Brazil recovers from its brain fart. Well, that's one way that you can put what happened in their previous election. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, YouTube terms of service. If you know, you know, then if you don't, well, just go ahead and research what happened last year in Brazil. Anyways, insulted Pope Francis questioned the death toll under Argentinians' brutal dictatorship and says humans are not behind climate change. Again, this guy is fucking based out of his mind, and that's why, you know, the elites that are out there seeing, oh my God, how can this populist outsider end up winning? This guy with such outlandish claims, like he wants to go ahead and destroy the deep state, put China and other socialist countries in check. Why would somebody want to do that? And who could possibly think that that would be a good thing going forward? All right, the American fucking people. Take a look at this. This is, you know, accurate. This is accurate to the day of recording. I know a little bit of, you know, behind the scenes look here, but the most recent of polls, which highly likely to not change anytime soon, but outside of a couple of just virulent outliers, Trump's going to win 2024, okay? Knock wood, okay? Nothing bad happens to either candidate because more than I want air in my lungs, blood in my veins, and cum in my balls, I want to see the rematch on stage between Trump and Biden in 3 rounds of unadulterated debate bliss. And next year, I need this. I need it so badly just to see how terrible. And I know what SNL finally took a shot that Joe Biden. Here's how much they took the clause out. Joe Biden can't read the teleprompter. Wow. Fucking abysmal. But you read a couple of the other rags, and they're really starting to hint that, you know what, Joe's probably not going to be our guy. And in some of the videos that are still yet to come out, and ones that I've talked about, or I'm sorry, other candidates that I've made mention of before as well. I've got other videos, you know, on the subject as well of other potentials that are out there. But Gavin Newsom really positioning himself as being the late replacement for old Uncle Joe up there. I'm still very concerned about Gavin Newsom because he is such a snake oil salesman, and he will have the unadulterated adoration of the media propping up his campaign and all of the entertainment business firmly behind the guy that kept them above water as the rest of the world shut down. I don't think that he could win on his own merits, but he would definitely be, let's just say, fortified to a victory in 2024, even if he is exposed as being the psychopath that he very much is. I don't think that the general public, as well-meaning as they are, would see behind the veneer of Gavin Newsom. Like, Christ almighty, they fell for Barack Obama a second time, even though the candidate opposing him in 2012 wasn't exactly all that appealing. But this is why, okay? If your favorite conservative influencers are out there talking about the Milei victory today, they're all drawing this back. Oh my God, this is the thing. This is presaging everything that's to come. Oh my God, Trump's going to take it in 2024. Not too hasty, man. We are still just about a year out, okay? A couple weeks removed from a year out from the 2024 elections. Anything could happen. So don't count your chickens before they hatch. That's really great news for Argentina. Or for Argentina, that's not a place. For Argentina. Okay, you guys need all of the good news that you can get. But I'm thinking if we have such public results like this, the DNC is not going to look at this and not make some drastic moves before now and early November of 2024. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.